Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Friday, December the 21st, and welcome to our video commentary. Well, today we're going to go back in history as we do from time to time, and we're going to remember something that happened on this day, December 21st, 1968, or 50 years ago today. This was the day that Apollo 8 took off for the moon, beginning at the time probably the most historic of all of the Apollo missions. Of course, Apollo, for those of you who are familiar with the space program, Apollo was the continuation of the Gemini program, and Apollo was designed to land on the moon. That's why they had 3 men on the spaceship compared to 2 for Gemini. The idea that 2 would land on the moon and 1 would stay up going around the moon and then meet with the others later. And Apollo 8 was also the first time that man actually went around the moon. And some of you may remember, if you're old enough to remember, that when Apollo 8 went into the so-called dark side of the moon, they lost contact with the Earth because there was no way of transmitting when you're on the other side of the moon. So for a while there, there was no communication with the capsule until later on when they made the circle, if you will, and they came back, and yes, we were able to communicate with them and everything was okay. There were 2 historic things about Apollo 8 that was just remarkable. The first one was that it went around the moon, as I said. They became the first men to go around the moon, and they took that amazing picture of the Earth, that amazing photograph of the Earth where you see the Earth floating in space. It was the first time that anyone had ever seen the Earth from that angle. And that photo became one of the most important photos of the 20th century. And I can recall that photo was on the cover of just about every magazine back in December 68, January 69, when everybody was reporting on that mission. The other great thing that Apollo 8 did was that on Christmas Eve, they had a special transmission for the Earth where the 3 men read from the book of Genesis. And it was a stunning experience. I remember this quite well because we were coming from midnight mass. I was with my parents and we were coming from midnight mass, and it was on the radio. And I remember this, and to this day it's still stunning and chilling to hear it, to realize that these were 3 men, I don't know how many miles away, who were reading from the book of Genesis to the Earth. It was just an unbelievable experience to have lived through all of that. I really miss the space program. This is something that I wish my sons and my someday my grandchildren or whatever will have an opportunity to experience something like this, because those of us who grew up in the 60s and the 70s, I mean, these missions to space were just absolutely amazing. Everybody got caught up in them, and they were so exciting, and so much satisfaction that came from watching the takeoff and the landing, and then of course the moon missions and all of that. They were just absolutely so exciting. And to me, one of the most exciting moments of the space program was Apollo 8, and listening to that transmission from the Earth, from the moon to the Earth well, not technically from the moon, from space to the Earth on December 24th, 1968. Well, thank you for watching. We have all of these on YouTube, we have them on Twitter, we have them on my blog, and if December 31st is your birthday, happy birthday. Bye-bye, everybody.